Welcome to Middle-earth Vision. This is a bit of a different video. I know I haven't posted in a couple of weeks, but yeah, this is just a quick one with regards to this amazing book by the artist Arik Roper that I received in the post, and I thought I'd give you guys a quick skip through it, a look through it. It's the most amazing hardback book from Strange Attractor Press. It's limited to 500 copies, and yeah, you get a limited edition signed postcard by Arik Roper, and that's lovely. I think there's unlimited versions of the softback cover and only 500 copies of the hardback edition, but I thought I'd give you a quick look, and it is kind of Tolkien adjacent, which you'll see later in the video. There's some Tolkien illustrations, but this is just amazing, beautifully produced book, and very reminiscent of like the Roger Dean Views book, the Dragon's Dream publishing unit from the 1970s and early 80s. And yeah, Arik Roper is just a very inspiring artist. I find his work just absolutely glorious and stunning. And yeah, this book is basically a showcase of his artwork. I've long admired him for a few years now, and yeah, to have a collection of his artwork truly is inspiring. I mean, I've only just recently got back into illustration myself, having been made redundant from my previous job. I'm now a freelance graphic designer and would-be illustrator, and this just takes me back to my childhood. I mean, it was when I was at art school. My aspiration was to become a fantasy artist. You know, I was very inspired by Roger Dean and Rodney Matthews, and that was the path that I wanted to take. And yeah, this book has just blown me away. It's amazing, just so inspiring. Yeah, like, it's just beautiful that, you know, it's got all the workings, you know, of this album cover by a band called Weed Eater, and you can see all the preliminary sketches that Arik has done to then come up with this wonderful illustration of a dragon. It's, yeah, just so good. It just blows me away. In fact, I've been waiting for this book to arrive in the post. I pre-ordered it last year, I think in July, and the labour of love is amazing. And you get this little lovely bookmark with it as well. And yeah, it's just an absolute joy just looking through the beautifully produced pages of this work. It's just, I mean, the camera doesn't do it justice, and I am skimming through, obviously. I'm not going to show you every page, but yeah, like I said, the camera just doesn't do it justice, but it's just wonderful stuff. Oh, there's some work here for Fire and Ice, which was Ralph Bakshi's film he made after his animated version of Lord of the Rings, and here are depictions of Arik's interpretation. But here is just this great spread on Tolkien, Lord of the Rings. And these illustrations were for a book called A Journey to the Imaginal Realm by Becca Tarnas, and yeah, I love that picture of Gandalf there. She read a book called Journey to the Imaginal Realm, which is an illuminating companion to Tolkien's books. She cites connections to Jung and Tolkien and the creative process which Jung coined as active imagination. I just love the depiction of Gandalf with a mushroom hat. I love it. I mean, Arik is quite inspired by illustrators from the late 70s, or early 70s, late 60s, early 70s. You can see it. It's kind of got a psychedelic tinge to it, and yeah, the colour work is phenomenal. He's got a great eye for colour, and yeah, look at that sky. I believe he uses airbrush techniques. I think all the illustrations, I think he mentions in the book that he uses very little digital techniques within his art. I think he mainly uses inks and watercolour and gouache. This spread here is for a role-playing game, and I think it's these illustrations are from the rulebook of the role-playing game. It's just beautiful, and his pen and ink work is just second to none. I love these characters here. They're just top notch. I think they illuminate the rulebook of this role-playing game. And here is, I think this is how Arik Roper got well known, through his work with a band called Sleep, which is a stoner metal band formed in the early 90s. And they released an album called Dope Smoker. And Arik came up with the characters called Weedians with tanks on their backs, which contains vaporized THC. And yeah, it's just wonderful. I love the typography as well. He's just fantastic, and the work that goes into it. But yeah, I think after the release of the album Dope Smoker, yeah, there's a kind of sort of like mild world building around the characters of the Weedians, depicting them in various landscapes on posters and t-shirts. And here's the piece that I think that made Arik become more well known. I love that picture of the little craft flying in the sky. It's amazing. And also love that the night has come in and the Weedians have moved on, but yeah, their footprints are just left traced into the sand. But yeah, it's just phenomenal. He also did a book about mushrooms. Oh, and these pictures here, they really remind me of the beginning of the film Wizards by Ralph Bakshi. I love it. And his pencil work, again, is just truly phenomenal. You know, there's nothing more else I can say, just to, yeah, I'm blown away. It's just one of those books that you could just pore over for hours and hours upon end, with all the posters and all the album covers that he's done for bands. And oh, lovely fold out spread there. I do apologise, I think there's light, well, there's light reflecting on the pages, so you can't really see what's going on, but I just need to, one thing I hate about these beautiful books, you don't want to crease the pages, so I better tuck that back in there. Again, you know, he's so talented. Beautiful line work, and just page after page of absolute joy. It's just phenomenal stuff. And the amount of work over the years he's put into it. I think he does say at the beginning of the book that he's been thinking about releasing an art book like this, but he wanted to get a good wealth of material to make it worthwhile. And yeah, more t-shirt designs there. Beautiful. Oh, hello, there's a dog Hello, dog. Just awesome stuff. Look at that. Just wonderful. Kind of reminds me of Mobius. It's just wonderful stuff. Yeah, that background, that blue background is very Roger Dean-esque. In fact, the whole book is, it's kind of like it's got a real flavour of, like Views by Roger Dean. Rodney Matthews comes to mind. Just beautiful. Yeah, it's definitely well worth the purchase, and hats off to Strange Attractor Press for producing such a wonderful, wonderful tome. Oh, yeah, let's just get that folded over beautifully. Like I said, there's only 500 copies, so I'm trying to keep this as pristine as possible. But yeah, I think there is... Oh, sorry. If you buy the hardback version of the book, if it's still for sale, because there's only 500 copies, you get this little additional book of black and white illustrations. I think these were all done for Inktober. I think Arik's done that for a couple of years now, but yeah, well worth it. If there's any copies of the hardback book, it's definitely seek it out. But fantastic stuff.